When you've gone through something really devastating like cancer, there's all kinds of ways you can try to recover both physically and mentally. And one way I've been finding out about recently is called fishing. How about that? And in this magazine called Alternative Medicine, cancer patients find solace in fly fishing. And then there's some nice pictures of some folks out there actually catching fish. Whether they catch them or not, we don't know. We're going to ask Ed Dudkowski about that. Ed is a cancer, I guess, survivor. Is that the cancer survivor? And then you got involved in the fishing program called REAL, R-E-E-L, recovery. Yeah, give us a little background on that.
Well, the Real Recovery was formed about 3 years ago out of Colorado, and they do retreats all around the country for men that are cancer survivors to learn how to use fly fishing as a healing art. And it's a mixture of, it's a 3-day event that usually takes place in the fall, well, it takes throughout the year. And they, 12 guys get together, and they're led by a therapist who about half of the time we spend in courageous conversation, as they call it, dealing with men's issues and our own issues. Most guys don't get around a circle and talk about their issues.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And so it was a real chance to get into that whole area and talk about the issues that are around cancer. And then the other half is spent out on the stream learning how to use fly fishing, which is a pretty gentle sport, to just focus and stay connected to nature.
You know, Ed, I've tried fly fishing sometime, and that would put me in the hospital. I mean, that's not easy to learn, to do that kind of motion. Are you a good fly fisherman?
I'm pretty good, yeah. I'm
really?
Pretty good.
When did you start?
Oh, I started as I was a kid with my father in Connecticut. You know, in fact, so many of the guys in this recovery, this first story they tell is, well, I remember going out with my father in a boat and my uncle and learning to fish, or that kind of thing.
Well, tell me about when you're out there and you're doing the fishing. You just gave me a little hint of that. You fish, and then that session comes around. The talking part is as much a part of it as the fishing, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, to sort of, you get all this stuff out there, you feel free because you're out in a different environment, and you let yourself be open about it.
And when you're casting, when you're out in the stream actually fishing, your concentration is so strong on what's going on that one of the guys said it was the best fishing experience of his life, that the pain of cancer went away. He didn't have it during that period of time.
Yeah.
And another guy said that the whole experience brought him strength and courage. It was an amazing experience to be with 12 guys who suddenly could open up and talk to each other and talk about their issues, and at the same time play, which is another big part of it.
What did you find out about yourself and about the other people?
A connectiveness between us. We all had a very common, we had a lot of commonality between us in terms of going through a really tough life-threatening situation and coming out of it. But that also, it was a chance to really play, to focus. There's I call it a Zen-like quality about casting, which is a very rhythmic kind of a thing. And when you get it in balance, I also call it the chi of casting, getting the balance together so that it's all working. Catching fish is a small part of it, actually.
Right.
Being out on when I catch a trout or a fish, I feel like I'm connecting with the wild. It's a very primeval kind of an experience.
Yeah. Is there a fatalistic attitude that people have, or is it sort of an optimistic, positive?
Very optimistic, very optimistic. There was also a very spiritual thread that ran through it. I couldn't believe it. I was really kind of blown away by the men that really had a connection with a higher power as they talked about their experiences, both in the courageous conversations and on the stream. It was a pretty powerful experience.
And was the doctor, he said he went out with you, sort of the group leader?
Well, there's a group leader. He's a counselor. And he would lead us in the evenings and the mornings around a fireplace in a fabulous lodge outside of Bernie, in this case the one I went to, and guide us in these conversations.
All right, it's called Real Recovery.
Real Recovery.
Real Recovery, and we wish you and everyone else involved in it lots of good fishing. Okay?
Be well, fish on.
Be well, fish on. Okay. Ed Dudkowski has been our guest. Thanks for joining us.